5 signs your partner is spiritually draining you. Energy vampire. You're exhausted all the time. You used to feel vibrant, creative, full of life. Now you feel drained, heavy, like something is slowly sucking the energy out of you. You might blame stress, work, or age, but the real culprit might be lying next to you every night. Some people don't just emotionally drain you, they spiritually drain you, feeding off your energy like vampires. By the end of this video, you'll know the 5 signs your partner is an energy vampire and why you feel like a shell of who you used to be. Sign 1. You feel physically and emotionally exhausted after spending time with them. The most telling sign of an energy vampire is how you feel after spending time with them. Healthy relationships energize you. Even during conflict or hard times, there's an underlying sense of connection that sustains you. Energy vampires leave you feeling depleted, heavy, exhausted in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Your body is telling you that being around this person costs you more energy than you gain. After being with your partner, you feel drained, not refreshed. Conversations, time together, even just being in their presence leaves you exhausted. You need to recover from spending time with them. Healthy relationships are restorative. Toxic ones are depleting. Your body is responding to energetic drain. This is real, not imagined. There's a heaviness, a weight that settles over you when you're with them. Their presence doesn't uplift, it drags you down. You notice your mood, energy, even your posture changes around them. You're vibrant with friends, depleted with your partner. The difference reveals who gives versus who takes. Energy vampires carry dense, negative energy that transfers to you. And you feel more alive when they're not around. When they're away, business trip, night out, visiting family, you feel yourself coming back to life. Colors seem brighter. You have more energy. You feel lighter. Their absence is relief, not loneliness. If someone's absence feels like freedom, their presence is imprisonment. Notice physical symptoms too. You get headaches around them. Your body feels tight, tense, or physically heavy. You're tired in a bone-deep way that sleep doesn't fix. Your body is responding to energetic assault. Physical symptoms are your system's alarm. Consistent physical distress around someone indicates energetic incompatibility or vampirism. Why are you missing it? You think they're just going through a hard time that will eventually end. You're compassionate and want to help, so you don't recognize you're being used. You're so busy managing crises, you don't see the pattern. Step back and look at frequency. If it's constant, it's not circumstantial. Every single week, Rachel's boyfriend Mark had a major crisis. One week, his boss was out to get him. Next week, his mother was being impossible. Then his car broke down. Then his health insurance was canceled. Then his friend betrayed him. Then his apartment had issues. Every crisis required Rachel's immediate attention, emotional support, and often practical help. Rachel would drop her plans, cancel with friends, put her work aside to help Mark through whatever disaster was currently unfolding. Rachel's friend finally said, "Have you noticed that Mark has a major crisis every single week? And every time you have something important, a work presentation, a family event, your own struggles, suddenly Mark has an emergency that makes your thing irrelevant?" Rachel started tracking it. For 6 months straight, there had been constant drama. And whenever Rachel was stressed or needed support, Mark's crisis would escalate, pulling all attention back to him. Mark didn't have bad luck. He was addicted to the intensity of crisis and used Rachel's energy to regulate himself.
So, track the crises. Write down frequency. Constant drama reveals manufactured chaos. Stop dropping everything. Your life matters. Don't make yourself available for every emergency. Set boundaries around crisis response. "I can't help with this right now" is a complete sentence. Notice that they sabotage your peace. Do they create drama when you're calm or focused on yourself? Sign 3. Your creativity, joy, and life force have diminished since being with them. One of the clearest signs of spiritual draining is the loss of your creativity, joy, and sense of vitality. You used to have hobbies, passions, dreams. You used to laugh easily, feel inspired, create things. Since being with this person, that part of you has dimmed or disappeared. Energy vampires don't just drain your energy in the moment, they drain the creative life force that makes you who you are. You've stopped doing things you used to love. Hobbies, creative projects, passions, you've abandoned them. You used to paint, write, play music, create. Now you don't. You can't remember the last time you did something just for joy. Energy vampires consume the energy you'd otherwise use for creation and self-expression. Loss of creativity and passion is loss of self. You don't laugh like you used to. Your laugh used to be full, genuine, frequent. Now it's rare, hollow, or non-existent. Joy feels like a distant memory from another life. Friends comment that you've changed. You're not as fun or vibrant as you used to be. Someone is literally draining the joy out of you. You feel like a shell of your former self. You look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself. The vibrant, passionate person you were has been replaced by someone exhausted and empty. You feel hollow, like you're going through the motions but not really living. Spiritual draining doesn't just exhaust you, it disconnects you from your essence. And your dreams and ambitions have shrunk. You used to have big dreams, plans, excitement about the future. Now you're just trying to survive day to day. Your world has become smaller, dimmer, less alive. Energy vampires keep you so depleted, you have nothing left for your own growth and dreams. Why are you missing it? You think it's normal to settle down and lose your spark. You blame responsibilities, aging, adult life. You don't connect the timeline of your diminishment with this relationship. Look at when you started losing yourself. Does it correlate with this partnership? Before meeting Tom, Lisa was a vibrant artist. She painted every weekend, took dance classes, traveled to art galleries, surrounded herself with beauty and creativity. She laughed constantly. She was radiant. 2 years into her relationship with Tom, Lisa couldn't remember the last time she'd painted. Her art supplies collected dust. She'd quit dance. She rarely went out. Tom didn't explicitly forbid these things. He just drained her. His constant needs, his criticisms disguised as concern, his energy that sucked all the air out of the room. By the time Lisa got home from managing Tom's latest crisis or listening to his complaints, she had nothing left for painting. Lisa looked at photos from before Tom and didn't recognize that joyful, creative woman. That's when Lisa realized Tom had drained the life force out of her. Her creative spark had been fuel for his bottomless need, and she'd slowly disappeared. So reconnect with what you loved. Make time for hobbies and passions. Reclaim yourself. Notice the resistance. Does your partner sabotage or criticize when you do things for yourself? Compare before and after. Look at who you were before this relationship versus now. Protect your creative energy. Set boundaries that preserve time and space for your own life. Sign 4. They're always the victim and nothing is ever their fault. Energy vampires position themselves as perpetual victims who are never responsible for anything in their lives. Everything is someone else's fault. Their boss, their family, their ex, you, the world. They drain you by making you responsible for fixing, rescuing, or managing the consequences of their choices, while they take no accountability. Everything is always someone else's fault. Problems at work, their boss is terrible. Problems with friends, their friends are toxic. Problems in the relationship, you're too sensitive, demanding, or difficult. Nothing is ever their responsibility. Perpetual victims never self-reflect or grow. They just drain others with endless complaints. When someone refuses accountability, you end up carrying their consequences. You're expected to rescue them from their own choices. They make poor decisions, then expect you to fix the fallout. Their financial irresponsibility becomes your problem to solve. Their lack of planning becomes your emergency. They don't save money, then crisis hits, and you're expected to provide. You're not helping them. You're enabling learned helplessness while draining yourself. And they complain constantly without ever taking action. Endless complaining about their job, but never job searching. Complaining about health, but never changing habits. Complaining about life, but never making different choices. Complaining generates energy they feed on. Action would end the complaint and the energy source. Healthy people complain, then act. Vampires complain to drain, not to solve. Watch how your compassion is weaponized against you. They know you're empathetic and use it to drain you. Every boundary you set is met with, "I thought you cared about me." Your caring nature becomes the tool they use to guilt you into giving more. Healthy people appreciate your compassion. Vampires exploit it. Why are you missing it? You're compassionate and believe people deserve support during hard times. You think if you just help a little more, they'll finally be okay. You don't recognize that they're choosing victimhood to drain you. Circumstantial victimhood is temporary. Identity-level victimhood is a lifestyle choice. For 3 years, Daniel played rescuer to Amy's perpetual victim. Amy hated her job for 3 years. She talked about quitting, finding something better, starting her own business, but she never did. Instead, she complained for hours every night while Daniel listened, supported, encouraged. Amy had money problems because she spent impulsively, then played victim when bills came due. Daniel covered her rent twice. Daniel had no friends because she'd burned every friendship, but in Amy's version, they'd all betrayed her. Daniel was exhausted from carrying Amy's emotional weight. His therapist finally asked, "Has Amy ever taken responsibility for anything in her life?" Daniel realized, no. Every problem was someone else's fault. Every consequence of her choices became Daniel's burden. Amy was comfortable being the victim because Daniel was comfortable being the rescuer. But rescuing someone who refuses to save themselves is just volunteering to be drained. So, stop rescuing. Allow them to experience natural consequences of their choices. Require accountability. What are you going to do about this, instead of, "Let me fix it for you"? Set boundaries around complaining. I'll listen for 10 minutes, then let's talk about solutions. Notice if they act when you stopped rescuing. Healthy people rise. Vampires find new victims.
Before we get to the final sign, if this video is helping you see what's been draining you, hit that subscribe button. We help you recognize toxic patterns so you can reclaim your energy and your life. Now let's talk about the last sign. Sign 5. Your spiritual practice, connection, and inner peace deteriorate. The deepest sign of spiritual draining is the deterioration of your own spiritual practice and connection. You used to meditate, pray, journal, spend time in nature, feel connected to something greater than yourself. Since this relationship, that's disappeared. You've lost your spiritual center. Energy vampires can't tolerate your connection to higher consciousness, because when you're spiritually connected, you're harder to drain. Your spiritual practice has disappeared. You used to meditate, pray, do yoga, journal. Now you don't. You've abandoned practices that kept you grounded and centered. You can't remember the last time you felt spiritually connected. Spiritual practice protects your energy. Vampires consciously or unconsciously sabotage it. Without spiritual grounding, you're defenseless against energy drain. They mock or minimize your spiritual beliefs. They make fun of your meditation, call your practices woo-woo or silly. They don't respect your spiritual needs or beliefs. They create an environment where spiritual expression feels unsafe. Every time you try to meditate, they interrupt with urgent needs or mock you afterward. They need you disconnected from your spiritual source so you're easier to drain. You feel disconnected from your intuition and inner guidance. You used to trust your gut, hear your inner voice, follow your intuition. Now you second-guess everything, feel confused, can't hear your inner wisdom. Your connection to your higher self has been severed. Energy vampires create confusion and doubt to override your intuition because your intuition would tell you to leave. And peace and stillness feel impossible. You can't find inner quiet. Your mind is constantly racing with their problems, their needs, their chaos. Moments of stillness are interrupted by their demands or your anxiety about them. They've colonized your inner space with their energy, leaving no room for yours. Why are you missing it? You think you're just too busy or stressed for spiritual practice. You don't recognize they're actively disrupting your connection. You've lost touch with your spiritual self so gradually you didn't notice. Track when you stopped your practices. Does it correlate with this relationship? Before Katie met Jason, she meditated every morning, attended yoga classes, journaled nightly, felt deeply connected to her spiritual path. 6 months into the relationship with Jason, all of that was gone. Jason would sleep in Katie's meditation space, making morning practice impossible. When Katie went to yoga, Jason would create an emergency requiring her immediate attention. When Katie journaled, Jason called it navel-gazing and made her feel selfish. Katie stopped fighting for her practice. She told herself she was just busy, that relationships require compromise. But Katie felt unmoored, disconnected, like she was floating without anchor. Katie's spiritual teacher noticed, "Your light is dimming. What's changed?" Katie realized, Jason. Every spiritual practice that protected Katie's energy, Jason had systematically dismantled. Because a spiritually grounded Katie would have seen through Jason immediately. A depleted, disconnected Katie was easier to drain. So reclaim your spiritual practice. Non-negotiably, make time for meditation, prayer, whatever grounds you. Notice their response. Do they support or sabotage your spiritual needs? Reconnect with intuition. Your inner voice knows the truth. Listen to it. Create sacred space they can't invade, physical and energetic boundaries for spiritual practice. If you recognize these signs and you're worried your partner might be dangerous beyond just energy draining, watch our video on the 5 signs they're after your life. And don't ignore these warning signs. Sometimes energy vampires are more than emotionally toxic, they're physically dangerous. Links in the description. Energy vampires are real. They're not supernatural beings. They're people who feed off the energy of others because they can't generate their own. They leave you exhausted, depleted, hollow. They drain your joy, your creativity, your spiritual connection, your very life force. And the worst part is, they're often the people closest to you, your partner. If you recognize 3 or more of these signs, you're in a spiritually draining relationship. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Ask yourself honestly, do you feel more alive or less alive since being with this person? Has your light gotten brighter or dimmer? Are you becoming more of yourself or less? Your body knows. Your spirit knows. The exhaustion, the diminishment, the loss of yourself, these aren't coincidence or bad luck. They're the cost of giving your energy to someone who only knows how to take. You deserve a relationship that energizes you, that makes you more vibrant, more creative, more fully yourself. If your current relationship is doing the opposite, you know what needs to happen. If this video helped you see what's been draining you, subscribe to this channel. We help you recognize toxic patterns so you can reclaim your energy and your life. Drop a comment telling me which sign you recognized, or if you left an energy vampire and got your life force back, share what changed when you finally walked away. Your story might help someone else choose themselves. Your energy, your joy, your creativity, your spiritual connection, these are precious. They're the essence of who you are. Don't give them to someone who will drain them dry. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. Both people give and receive. Both people energize each other. Both people grow. If your relationship is one-sided draining, it's not a relationship. It's energy vampirism. And you have every right to protect yourself by walking away. Reclaim your energy. Reclaim your life. Reclaim yourself.